Yeah, good evening, YouTube. Welcome to Zaud Vision. A lot of people may not respect this channel because it will ruffle a few feathers, but I created this channel. I already have a second channel, but that is more on my experiences of when I got out, And just to clarify something real quick, I was a convicted felon. I was incarcerated for approximately almost 14 years. For something that I did in the past. I made my mistakes. I cleared it up. I never went back. And now, I went more on to promote positivity. Sometimes I do backslide as far as like with my rhetoric, but for the most part, everything is positivity. This channel right here, Zaud Vision, will be more on political discussions. Keep in mind, I'm not well versed in many politics. But I do have my points of views, and I'm hoping that people will respect that fact, and it will open up some lane of open up some level of conversation, and hopefully we can keep it respectful, and in order to respect everybody's views. And if you have something particular that you want to tell me, or a political view that you may hear something that I say that you don't feel this correct, then you're more than welcome to leave a comment, and then I will respond to you accordingly. If it is disrespectful to the point to where you give no real argument, I will just merely block you, and just will be done with it. And no matter how many fake profiles you make, I will block you. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to get into something because on my other channel, I spoke on Kamala Harris, that she was a charlatan and wasn't really for the people, and just like everybody else, she's business as usual. People thought when Hillary Clinton got into office, they're like, oh, the first woman in politics. I mean, not politics, but the first woman president. I already knew that was one of those dead end lanes. I knew she was going nowhere because the type of person she is. Her and her husband were considered her husband was considered the first black president. You already see how he handled the office. You know what I mean? Even when they had what's the dude, Bin Laden, he could have took him out. It was proven, but he chose not to, and for that, a lot of people suffered in the future. A lot of people say he's a CIA plant. Who knows? A lot of people have studied in this country and went on to do drastic things to this country, but that's not what I really wanted to cover today. See, a lot of people tend to tell me that I'm somewhat of a Trump supporter because I choose not to slander him like other people. At the end of the day, I don't agree with what Trump does. Not everything that Trump does is necessarily wrong, but I'm not going to go out on my, when people disrespected Obama, and anybody that spoke out against it was considered wrong. So why would I, for anybody that didn't like Obama, people were mad at the fact that they were slandering him. I don't speak on no president because at the end of the day, he was elected the president of the United States. Do I agree with everything that Trump does? No. Did Trump push for everybody to work? I can respect that. Everybody should work. And for the people that assume that they shouldn't have to work, you're just a waste of space, and don't expect people to want to take care of you if you don't want to go out and excuse my language, bust your ass in order to get what you need to get, in order to go where you need to go. A lot of people tend to take on that argument. Well, I don't want to work and I shouldn't have to work. Yeah, you have to work. In this world, you have to work. If you ain't taking care of no family, you still have to work. You have to do what you got to do in this country. You know how many people are in the military that fight every day for the freedom that we have? So if they can lose limbs in a war and come back and still show patriotism for their country, your ass can stand up and you can salute. It's nothing. It's no dirt off your back. It's nothing for you to stand up and salute a flag that you fall up under. You'll hear many arguments, well, they're not for the people, this country is never for us. No, you have respectful black people that these people respect, and you got the ones that, like me, at one time was just out there on the street doing vagabond shit, and so they don't respect that fact. It's just, at the end of the day, you cannot get respected being a hooligan. Maybe amongst our peers we respect it, but in mainstream, as somebody that's a productive person in society, you can't get no respect that way. You have to adhere to certain rules. You have to conduct yourself a certain way. And in order to be able to really reap the benefits of this country, you got to actually do your best. And sometimes it's hard, but you got people working 9-to-5 jobs every day. You got the working class. You got the middle class, which they say there's no in between, but there is a working class. And people work every day, busting their ass out there, building buildings, digging shit, whatever. They do what they got to do in order to make it. So for anybody to take on that argument that I don't need to do that, you're a waste of space, and people that actually pay taxes should not have to pay for you. And that's just my view on it. You don't have to understand that. You don't have to adhere to that. But at the end of the day, you will continue to be looked at as a lower citizen if you choose not to work in this country. And that's just the way it is. Now, a lot of people have been at me because they, like I said, they think I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not against and I'm not with Trump. You know, I believe that people should be able to come to this country and seek asylum, and also be able to, you know, make a way in life without having to suffer in another country. But understand, the only thing that Trump did that made people mad is the fact that he spoke out on something that, you know, a lot of people did want to speak out on. The people that you consider to be Democrats and liberals and people that's for the people. And like I said, before I even go any further, I'm just going to tell you, I have no political alliances. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not far left. I'm not far right. I'm not conservative. I'm not a Dixiecrat. I'm none of that. You know what I mean? I would consider myself a dark patriot. And for the people that want to understand what a dark patriot is, it's just somebody that believes things that this country does sometimes are a necessary evil. See, at the end of the day, everything was built through war, and any civilization that's ever been established has been built through war. So with the United States having to put the smash on another country, sometimes that's just a necessary evil. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's not even the United States that's doing all this anyway. It's the World Bank and them pushing these guys into these war. That's how people benefit off of war. You know what I mean? The more war, the more people sell their guns, and the more guns being sold, the more people die, the more whatever. The world banks continue to make their money. It's the 1%ers that control this country anyway. Americans don't control America. You got outside interests that's constantly purchases up pieces of this country, and people only want to see what they see. They just think Trump's doing this. Trump is making your ass work. You know what I mean? Do I agree with what Trump does in certain cases? I think that at the end of the day, Trump is not all the way there, but he's doing whatever the hell he does. So why should I slander him on camera when I don't know this guy? You know what I mean? He's the president of the United States, and I have to accept it. You don't have to accept it, but I have to accept it as somebody that considers himself a patriot of this country, whether I was an ex-con or not. Understand that at the end of the day, he got elected into office, and that's just something that happens. Immigration is one of them strong points. See, a lot of Democrats, the majority of the Democrats and majority of Republicans wanted to speak up on this, on this subject, period. But they slid back because they felt that, they didn't want to anger the people. A lot of these politicians that you supposedly back immigration. See, with Trump out here slinging it from the shoulders, because that's what he does. He's like Bush. Bush was one of those. He didn't care if you thought he was an idiotic president. He did what he had to do when he avenged his father. That whole thing with Iraq and the oil, there's more to it. They didn't benefit by that. They may have got him to think that he avenged his father, by taking out the people that did try to assassinate his father. For the people that don't know that, they did try to take out Bush Sr. By the plane, whatever. But it's an agenda behind that. And what happened, the World Bank swoops in, takes all their currency, all their money, all their oil, and they control Iraq. Don't believe the hype that they gave it back to them. No, it's still control. The same with Japan and same with all these other countries. Once they declare war and you lose, we control it. That's how it works. But see, America don't control it. The World Banks control it the same way that they're trying to go in and they're trying to figure out some way to get Iran. If the World Bank can figure out how to spark a war with Iran without us suffering major consequence, they will do it. A few boots on the ground means absolutely nothing. At the end, it's all about money. America don't even own America. Other outside interests. The dude from Greek, all these Russian billionaires that own all these spots. See, so at the end of the day, it's like this. I am not a Trump supporter and I'm not against Trump. I just pay attention to what I pay attention, and I don't believe in the false narrative that every Democrat that's trying to get into office is for the people, because they're not. Kamala Harris is one of the main people. Ask anybody what she's running under. I mean, outside of being a Democrat, but what is she gonna do when she gets into office? If she was able to become the president, she'll go in circles because she don't know what she want to do. She just wants to get into office to feel even more powerful, like she was when she was a DA and she was attorney general when they was constantly railroading blacks and railroading Hispanics and railroading anybody that can railroad in order to perpetuate propel her career into the spotlight. She don't care about the people. She don't care whether you suffering. At the end of the day, she just want to be in a powerful position. Look at her husband. Ask me if she didn't sold her soul to Israel. You need to really do your research on these people that are in office and exactly what their political alliances, and a lot of them are not how should I say, they're not keeping American people in their best interest. Like I said, I'm a dark patriot. I believe in necessary evils. I believe that at the end of the day, some things just need to be done, whether the bleeding hearts want to admit it or not. Some things are a necessary evil. I believe in this country. I believe in, certain laws. I believe in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And I can go further into what I consider a dark patriot, but at the end of the day, I'm a patriot of this country, and it's just the way it is. It didn't change when I got incarcerated. It hasn't changed now. And though you may not agree with my ways or agree with what I say, understand that you're entitled to your opinion, and you can basically state it how you want. You know what I'm saying? And for the people that might be put off by the lighting, and, I'm trying to get my laptop. I got a camera now. I'm trying to, it's a lot of things that I need to put together in order to make a better presentations. I actually got a light bulb right next to this little Samsung phone that's really cheap. But, I do what I can do. But at the end of the day, as long as people understand my argument that if you want to make anything in this world, you got to work for it. I like Bernie Sanders, but do I think the socialist agenda will ever work? No. He may be actually able to get into office, but do I think socialism will ever take a hold of this country? No. Do I believe that everybody is equal? No. I believe every human being is equal, but do I believe that just because, you make billions of dollars that I should get a piece of your money, and if you had 5 BMWs, I should be able to take one of your BMWs, because that's how, a raw case of social, whatever socialism works. They try in Venezuela. Is it working? No. It's never going to work. And it will never take a foothold in this country because everybody is at their personal interest and personal gain. And I'm not mad at the fact that a billionaire wants to stay a billionaire, a millionaire wants to stay a millionaire. You got people that are working class every day that just want to maintain their little home that they got in the suburbs without dealing with all the drama that's on the outskirts of that. You know what I mean? And if you live in the ghetto or, the slums or whatever you consider it, more rural areas, and you're trying to elevate to a certain status and you're able to do it, I implore you to to push that way. Get your education. For the people that say they can't do it, you can prove these people wrong. You know what I mean? But we need to stop making it about race and all these other. You got to be able to sit down and actually have a conversation with other human beings. And I'm no one, but like I said, another person that's in this country that has to strive every day in order to make itself better. Do I have flaws as a human being? Yes, I do. Do I still fall victim to certain whims? Yes, I do. But at the end of the day, I got one thing clear. This is my country, and there are people that bleed every day in order to make sure that we don't fight wars on this soil. So the most we can do as human beings and as Americans is not let their sacrifice go in vain, and understand that there's a bigger picture outside of just regular politics as usual. And do I want a Democrat that has no clear view of what they're going to do in the future? No. And especially one that never has cared about the people and has did their very best in order to put blacks and Hispanics and anybody that is considered unworthy to be in society behind bars. Even when she knew there were crooked cops and crooked DAs, and she chose not to prosecute them no matter what they did. So I cannot respect Kamala Harris. If you want to see that, just go on the Zaud 1 and check out the video on Kamala Harris. I did a better way of really giving it to her. But yeah, if you want to control the office of the United States, you got to have views, and not only a clear view but a clear road on how to solidify them views as far as like what you're going to do in office. But understand, politics as usual, the president controls nothing. They'll let Trump shoot it from the hip because a lot of people, whether you choose to believe it or not, want this wall put up. And then once that wall's put up, they don't have to broach it. So they can put him in the bad light, like, yeah, this is the guy that was really on immigration and never really cared about Hispanics, so they don't have to do it. Trust me, they believe in immigration laws. They don't believe you just coming over. They just scared to say it because they know it's unpopular to the people, because you got a lot of bleeding hearts, you got a lot of leftists, and you got some rights. The rights fall behind them because they've always wanted to say it, but they were just too scared to say it. This dude may be reckless from the lip, but he's shooting exactly the way a lot of politicians think. At the end of the day, it's a money thing. Anything that's going to further lace their pockets or, push their agenda, some people will take a loss in order to come back later on and get something passed that they really wanted to pass. It's all exchange of hands. Shake my hand, shake your hand. Stab you behind the back, stab him behind the back. It's just the way it is. So as long as when you come to understand exactly the politics behind this country, you'll get a better idea of exactly why things don't work the way they work. Socialism will never take hold. Libertarianism will never. Ben Shapiro is an excellent at debates, but will his ways of thinking ever take real foothold in this country? No. It may be just because who he is and what his, whatever, but it's never going to take hold. Socialism will never take hold. This is not Cuba. This is not Venezuela. This is the United States of America. And people continue to bleed over this country. So just respect it. And if you don't want to salute it, at least stand up. And on that note, I'm out.